Hi, welcome back. Attorney Steve Vondran here. We are talking in this podcast video about what's going on with everybody changing their privacy policy. So this is general legal information only and not legal advice. Attorney Steve here. We are talking about, have you been receiving a lot of emails lately in the last week or so from Twitter and other companies that are changing their privacy policy? And you're wondering, what's going on? Everybody's changing their privacy policy. Must be something going on. You're right. There is something going on, and it's called the GDPR. Let's say that again. GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. This comes out of, not out of the United States. This is coming out of the European Union. We've talked in other videos and podcasts about the European Union and how they take privacy so much more serious than they do in the United States. And they have stiffer regulations, more requirements that need to be met. So they had passed a law, the GDPR. Some people say, is this in response to Facebook and the Cambridge, what do they call it? The Cambridge Analytica problem, whatever it was that they had. Well, actually, it's not. This is a law that was out and passed and was to become effective on May 25th, 2018. So that's why you see, we're getting last minute here. We're getting a lot of companies scrambling to comply with this European Union regulation. Now, why is that? Well, because a lot of companies are global. Some of people call them globalists, whatever you want to call them. They have offshore companies, offshore servers, offshore third-party marketers, all kinds of things in the European Union. And in the EU, there are just stricter requirements. They look at personal property, privacy as more of a personal property right, as opposed to in the United States, where we say, hey, you want to use our service for free, we get your data and we get to do whatever the heck we want with it, monetize it, whatever we want. So when you see these privacy policy changes, this is companies responding to the GDPR for the most part. It could be other reasons, but addressing issues like stricter security, encryption, what we call the right to be forgotten. Okay, this is really important. So now you have a right to go to these companies and say, look, delete all my data. It's my data. I know you've been trading it and selling it and using it and monetizing it, but it's my data, and I'm asking you to stop using it and delete everything. I want to be forgotten. So that's part of what's going on. You have the new opt-in. Usually companies would get your email, and just because they had your email address, they'd say, oh, because you gave us your email, that means you're consenting to spam. And these new laws say no, they have to still opt in. They have to give their informed consent to receiving these kinds of things. So those are some of the issues that will be addressed in your updated privacy policy. So what I would suggest, check them out, look at your new policies, see what's going on. I think this is a good move for consumers, where you get to protect and have more control over your data, your personal information. And, you get to go, what I would do is I would go into your privacy and security settings and see what new options they're giving you. They may be giving you new options not to be followed, when you want to consent to spam, or, as they say, if it's not junk, maybe you do consent to it. So maybe you're looking at things like that. But this is essentially privacy rights driven by the European Union, the GDPR. And that's probably why you're seeing all your privacy policies changing, companies trying to comply with that. Because realize, I have read that there are fines for companies that are not in compliance with this GDPR, up to 4% of the global revenue. Can you imagine that? Up to 4% of your global revenue if you're found to be not in compliance with the GDPR. So this is a big deal. This is probably why you're seeing all these privacy policy updates. And this is Attorney Steve. If you need help with an internet privacy, intellectual property law issue, you know where to find us on the web at attorneysteve.com. That's attorneysteve.com, the first name in legal services. We'll talk to you again. Hope this has been helpful, but just wanted to keep you posted on what's going on. Okay, take care now.